You're right what you're saying. You're exactly right. It does look at times, especially if you're not busy on social media, then you don't exist. But life does still go ahead. Outside of outside of social media, you are still doing things, keeping busy. I've got a lot of things on outside of boxing and being in the public eye. Obviously, families first, but then I have different businesses outside of boxing. So whenever it's not stuff in the ring or the public eye, then that takes centre stage. But obviously you're busy as well. But yeah, we need to pull our finger out. I think we were slacking with the 6 week holidays and getting some content out, so it's nice to have a bit of a catch up. But yeah, I'm good. I did have a little bit of a break from all my social media completely. I went down to Great Yarmouth, had a bit of a holiday down there. Interesting place. I thought Blackpool and Scarborough were rough, but Yarmouth makes them places look like Monaco. But no, it was a nice holiday. Obviously got beautiful places like the Norfolk Broads down there, but it was nice to go down and recharge the batteries a bit. Proper British holiday. We're scheduled to go away to Greece this year, but in a caravan, Avon caravan site. Come on, fish and chips every night. But that was good. That was good.
I think everyone in COVID and going forward will probably do a lot more of that. I've bought a camper van.
Yeah, you have bought a camper van, yeah.
Everyone's going to be just touring the UK and doing loads of stuff British, including fishing. So you're doing some fishing. I am a big fan of fishing, but you were doing.
Yeah, well, we were doing a bit of fishing, and it was out. It was out a few nights ago on ITV4. We actually did it. I think the second week in August. But yeah, we got invited down to the Target Sports fishing competition. A whole array of sports people from different backgrounds. You had likes of Phil Taylor down there from darts. You had Ian Burns from snooker. David Seaman, obviously everyone knows David Seaman, my Leeds fan, and England goalie, and like a lot of Olympians. Like there were a couple of girls down there from the netball, Beth Dix and Mickey Austin. So yeah, it was good. It's Johnny Kebab has been saying to me for a long time, you need to come along fishing, Josh, you need to come along fishing. I go all the time, it'll really take your mind off of boxing and all that, and I've been meaning to go for a long time, so it gave me a good insight to what it's about. Obviously a little bit different to what he does, he likes the reel and all that, this were pole fishing, but it was competitive, man, it was competitive, and you had likes of Eddie Earn and Barry Earn down there, giving it bigger, and they're going to wipe the floor of everybody. Obviously Barry Earn's got a fishing lake in his back garden, but we did all right to be fair, and as a team boxing we came fourth, and individually we came 13th out of I think 30 odd, and there were a few what got away, but bloody hell, I'd never thought I'd get so competitive, especially in that last half hour and we were chasing going further up the table. But it was all for charity as well, which obviously is always a bonus whenever you're having a good time and a laugh, and there's making money for charity, then happy days. But yeah, that was a good experience. That was it. My dad were saying after, that's it, you'll get the bug now, you'll get the bug. Yeah, I certainly will be back, but yeah, I think if I'm gonna go again, maybe he can do his own bit. And I'll do my own bit, and we'll see who's the better out of the two of us, because he thinks he's a bit of an expert as old Johnny.
No, that's not for me.
No, not for you, not having it. Listen, I didn't realise how big the fishing community is. Obviously people love it's a pastime for a lot of men and women out there, getting off to the lake on a Saturday. If they've got a stressful job, I can see why they do it. Get out there and just relax. I mean, bloody hell, Ali Alamedi, I didn't realise how popular that guy is. He's got his own bloody Xbox game out. The guy's like world famous. So many people messaging me after saying, I can't believe you met Ali, what's he like? Well, I will say what a guy he is, a really nice, welcoming, humble guy. But yeah, he's a massive A-star celebrity in his field of fishing. But yeah, there's a big world out there, that fishing game, Luke. Massive game.
Well, We'll see. Maybe in a few years' time. I feel like I'm still too young.
When you put the camera down and you start off for taking the pictures and stuff, yeah.
And obviously, I mentioned at the start, it's not in camp, but still training. I think you're always training. I don't think in the many years I've known you where you haven't been training. Obviously, taking a bit of time off with the family, but it's still active as ever for you.
Yeah, you have to be. I mean, start lockdown when I knew that the fight at Headingley wasn't going to happen. You've got a choice. You can either sit about, dwell on it, sulk and just wait until some fight news comes about. Maybe put a bit of weight on, enjoy yourself, have a barbecue, have a few beers, or you can carry on training and perfect your game. And I went for the latter. I carried on being in the gym. Fortunate enough, I've got my own gym, so we're able to go in there, lock the door, and yeah, I couldn't have my training team in there with me. I couldn't have my strength conditioning coach with me, or my dad, or my other pad men, but I was still in there working. Sometimes it'd be a few hours a day, sometimes it'd be just an hour a day, working on footwork, working on my certain shots, but always trying to keep my eye in there, keep my sharpness, and stay focused, and just trying to better myself, because when the fight news does come back and we do get some the green light to go ahead, then I hope that's coffee machine going. It's a good job this is not a live interview. I mean, we could have done, we'll probably leave it in there, but the ladies, yeah, we were talking about just training and ticking over, and yeah, I've kept myself in shape. I haven't let myself blown up, and the opponents out there, your Hughes, your Gary Russells, they're all going to be training, they're all going to be working away. So, well, just a bit of advice for anybody in, not even just boxing, sport in general. You have to use them quiet times and turn them into a positive. I know they're always difficult, but you've got to try use these times and better yourself. Alright, it's been nice for some people to spend time at home with family and stuff, and just maybe laze about, get up at whatever time they want. Obviously, some people have not been as fortunate of that. Some people have had to work all the way through it, which, like I say, pat on the back and I take my half tears. Obviously, there's some people who have lost family members during the COVID pandemic, and again, I'm really sorry to hear that. But for those who just being normal day to day, and then not being able to work and everything else, it is a good opportunity for them people to just stay focused, and maybe it's a time for them to do them things they've always been wanting to do, whether they pick up an instrument, read a new book, learn a new language. I mean, it's easier said than done, but if you are going to attempt, then you're never going to know. And I think this year's almost coming to an end, and that's probably a good thing for most people. Everyone wants to see the back end of 2020, but it just also goes to show how quickly time passes, and how long are you going to put this thing that you want to do off before a year's passed, 2 years passed, 5 years has passed, 10 years has passed. So start today, but I've just carried on. As normal, trying to bet myself. This game doesn't last forever, and I've got to be honest with myself. When I sit back, look back at my career, when I've retired and it's all said and done, I need to be honest with myself and know that I give absolutely everything. I had even the times when I wasn't preparing, that I was still honest with myself. Otherwise, I'll just go off the rails.
Obviously, you mentioned with the boxing, there was still some boxing going on. Everyone on social was like, when you're fighting in Eddie's back garden, it's a completely different kind of level, and the fights that are going on. I guess quickly mention that, and also your stablemate Maxi Hughes as well. I think it's definitely worth a mention. Yeah,
most definitely. Maxi had a fantastic win, a 10-1 underdog in a 2-horse race. I mean, I would have fought to 1 underdog in a world title fight against Lee Selby, but 10-1, and a lot of people had thought that John O'Carroll were going to be going to be an easy night's work for Maxi, but Maxi's been a pro over 10 years now, and he's had his setbacks, he's had his losses, but at times he's been very, very competitive, and sometimes some of the fights he's had, on other days he might have got the decision, so people were writing him off, and he's been working with my dad over last year, just solely with my dad, and I think it paid dividends. You know, he boxed out of his skin, unbelievable performance. And it's funny because Maxi talked about retiring last year, and you know, new lease of life, and all of a sudden, the guy's rebirthed his career. He's got a new lease of life. You can see it whilst he's training in the gym. He's glowing. He's like a woman who's pregnant. You know, he's absolutely buzzing, and it's good because you also bounce off that energy. Winning mentality. It's good to be around that, and yeah, he had a fantastic win, and then now all of a sudden he's looking towards titles and things like that. So I do believe he's going to be out 9th of October over in Dubai, and you know, he's going to come back with a big bang. But yeah, going on to the back garden stuff, yeah, over the last few weeks I think we've been in with a fair few treats, and it's good to see because I think a lot of fighters are desperate to get out there, so more competitive matchups have been made. And you know, even those lads who have come, you know, have not had the rub of the green and they've not got the decision, they've still made a good of account of themselves. You know, I'll point towards, for instance, the Ted Cheeseman and the Sam Egginton fight, an absolute barnstorming of a fight with them two, and you know, both walk away maybe with a few less marbles, but you know, it's added to the CV, a fantastic fight, credibility have gone through the roof, and you know, there's been some fantastic fights in the back garden, and in the BT studios, so it's been a good time for them fights to have happened. But you know, it's just like everyone else, I'm hoping that, you know, the fans can be back very soon.
I think when I watch Maxi's fight, it's everything's been behind closed doors. And for me, I was like, did that play into Maxi's kind of hands? It was solely focused on boxing. It was just what was going on in the ring. There's obviously still a little bit of build up, but there was none of that kind of bad mouthing before the fight, the lead up to it, and that whole kind of the fans getting involved, which obviously we want to see back. But do you think that maybe played a bit of part as well? It is just boxing. Yeah,
I guess so. Yeah, you know, when people talk about the being able to perform behind closed doors, maybe in the gym, it's a bit quieter environment. Certainly with the Maxi fight, he didn't have as much build up in terms of like press conferences at the top table, and that can be mentally draining. No matter how many times you do it, you know, I'll talk from experience. When you're having a media day, you're there, you've got to do your initial press conference, which is normally about 45 minutes. Even though you might not be talking for 45 minutes, you know, the rest of the table talks. Then you've got to go off and do all the little media around. Obviously, you may get asked the same question 20 to 30 times, and obviously you're always wanting to answer that in a different way, so you sound like you're not repeating yourself, and then the journalists have got something different to put in their stories. It's hard work, it's mentally tiring, and obviously all that's been taken away, and like the pressure of the fans as well. Sometimes I think, for my instance, I've got used to it over the years, fighting in the big crowds, fighting as the main event, all the pressure and spotlight being on myself. But some fighters have not had that pressure throughout, and it still takes a long time to get used to. And certainly, like with Maxi fighting behind closed doors, that may have helped. That may have helped without the roar of the crowd, and it was just solely on the boxing. And you know, it's just like we've seen in football, that home and away, the results are a little bit different without that crowd influence there. So it is interesting to see, and I think some of them fighters who aren't normally as confident, maybe it's a chance for them to learn how to just stay focused, and you know, when the crowds do come back, they might have just gained that big bit of confidence in going forward, and being able to just get in the game and get the game face on, be switched on, stay focused, and just do the boxing without being influenced by the crowd.
Yeah, you mentioned football, and we spoke about last season a lot on the YouTube channel as well. That kind of bans the game for Leeds United, and how you might have spilled over. It's the same thing, but let's not talk about last season, because this season, Premier League,
yes,
Liverpool, what do you make to that? First game for Leeds, we did well.
We did very well, mate. We did very well, and you know what a quick turnaround it was. You know, it doesn't seem 2 minutes ago since there were fireworks going off outside Ellen Road and big bunches of crowd breaking social distancing rules. But you know, 16 years is a very long time to have waited, and against a lot of people, I know it's no excuse, but a lot of people were letting out a lot of frustration, a lot of it was good relief for a lot of people, certainly of Leeds United fans, and we're back straight into the deep end against the Premier League champions, the Championship champions, versus the Premier League champions, and I thought we'd give a really good account of ourselves. I didn't think would have been putting free past them. I actually predicted in bits of media and interviews that I'd done that I thought it was going to be, you know, a tight one apiece game. Obviously, you know, not getting carried away with myself. Knew that Liverpool have a strong squad. You know, they've got amazing talent behind them, and they've worked well under Klopp over the last few years. But wow, what a game! What a game! And for the neutral, you know, for those who haven't been watching Leeds United over the last 2 years, 3 years, but under Marcelo Bielsa, they'll be like, wow, this is unbelievable, but they can't keep that up. And Leeds fans will know they can. And I think the difference will be is that in the start of the Championship season, it's Tuesday, Saturday, like more or less all the way through the winter months. This time round, I think there's around 3 scenarios where we have a Tuesday and Saturday game. So, you know, the players, all right, maybe they might have to work a little bit more on the pitch because it's an hard level, I don't know. But they're going to get that rest time. And I think we'll be able to keep that kind of pace, intensity up for the rest of the season. And I think it's going to shell shock a lot of teams. So, you know, I said prior to the campaign getting underway that Leeds is finishing the top half of the table, and I stand by that now. You know, that's backed it up even more. People will say, yeah, they got a bit of a fluke, but you know that's how we play. You know, high intensity, we play good football, and to be able to put three past Liverpool at Anfield, you know, I know, right? Yeah, I know the fans weren't there, but it's only going to build our confidence for the team, knowing that they can mix it with these big teams.
I think, obviously, I watch a lot in training as well. I think the easier games may even be the bigger teams, because the big teams like Man City, Liverpool, Scum, not a big team, but we'll mention, you know, they've got to come and play good football against us, because that's what the fans obviously watching at home at the minute. But everyone expects them to do that, and they will do that. Man City in particular. And I think we'll thrive. We did a bit, but there's gaps. If they're attacking and playing good football against us, Bielsa's style suits that massively. And yeah, we might leak 3 goals, 4 goals, but we might also score 5.
Yeah, 100%. You're right, and you know, it's going to be an entertaining match. You know that the neutral eye is going to watch that and think this is going to be a good game. And you are right. Those teams, like you say, who are expected to get results, are going to press. You know, you like say your Chelsea's, your Man City's, they're going to be pushing forward. Arsenal are going to play good football and maybe a little bit patient, but they're going to push up. But that is perfect for us, because our counter attacks, are we able to push up and get so many men up the top of the pitch in quick succession is what we're doing. Yeah, I think the difference will be is how quickly they'll be able to counter our counter attacks, but you know, it's going to make for entertaining football, and I think that's what we will shock a fair few folk. And you know, I think like the new boys, Robin Koch and Rodrigo, the longer the season goes on, the more they'll warm to it, and we can really get to see what they're all about as well.
Yeah, definitely an easier kind of league to get used to for those guys than the Championship.
Yeah, the Championship, they knock 7 bells out of each other. You know, there's lots of harsh challenges, whereas you know there is time on the ball in the Premier League, and yeah, things can be done a lot quicker in terms of you know the passes and accuracy, and how quickly the teams can get up the pitch without, you know, having to run and such. It's just a case of a couple of passes and they can be in the opposite end of the field. But like you say, I think it's a good introduction for the new boys.
And what are you going for this weekend? Fulham at Ellen Road.
Fulham Ellen Road.
They'll bring in see, these will be the hardest games for me. I think Fulham know how to play against us. Maybe 2 banks of 5 of them. They'll just probably kick us about a little bit as well.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think it'll be a rough game. Maybe they might look to pack the bus a little bit. I could see maybe us getting a bit frustrated, but obviously there's no pressure from the fans, so the fact that's not going to spill onto the pitch. Talks of Liam Cooper being back as well, which is good to see. You know what? I fancy a 2-0 Leeds win. A 2-0 Leeds win.
I'm going to go
2-1.
2-1 to Leeds.
2-0 Leeds win, goal in either half. That's what I'm going for. There you go.
Right, we'll move on. Honours.
Gambling responsibly.
Honours notion video. One thing I'd put, obviously, the charity work always continues. Ambassador for candle lighters. Do loads of stuff with them as well, but also presented a cheque during the lockdown. Just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, me and Johnny did. we did a bit of. I wouldn't even say it wasn't even a meet and greet. It was just a bit of a chat up in the Crown and Anchor pub up in Rodley, West Leeds. I've got some fantastic support from the guys up there. Jason Spence, everyone knows him as Spenner. He's been coming to my fights for many years now. We started following him and a few pals at the Leeds Town Hall back in 2013, and on a regular basis now he comes to fights and he puts orders in around 2 to 250 amount of tickets every time, and that support has been fantastic from that side of Leeds, and I can't thank them guys enough. So I always try to give back whenever I can, whether it's giving gloves for charities or raising money for charities or whatever. If it's somebody's birthday, giving them, I don't know, just whatever can help, I want to give back. And me and Johnny went up there and we gave a bit of a talk. So I think it was after the Galahad fight, we were in there, and it ended up being a really good night. It was just really intimate, pub full of people, £5 a ticket. Everybody's proceeds went to the charity of my choice. We sold a few gloves, a bit of merchandise as well, and it's first time I've taken my dad with me, my old fella, old Johnny Kebab, Papa Sean, and
He must have been happy.
well, he was up there, and I think at first he was like, what's all this all about? And as soon as he got a Guinness down his neck, then that was it. He turned into a stand-up comedian, and next minute, I'm taking a sit aside and we're just watching him do a routine, and he got like a bit of a standing ovation, and I think everyone enjoyed hearing his side as a trainer and my dad, and obviously slagged me off, and everyone loves listening to stuff like that and him taking the piss out of me. But it was good. It was a good night, and we raised just short of £2,000. Which is fantastic, and this time round we're going to be donating to the children's ward. I think it's Leeds General Infirmary. I think L4 and L6 or L4 and L8. I've got it written down on the cheque. But yeah, I always try to raise the money for different parts of the children's wards, whether it's the children's cancers, the children's heart. Obviously, being a dad myself, and just it breaks me whenever I see the kids, in hospital, and whenever I've done visits. But you've been with me, Luke, many times. It's hard to see, and it's even more. So it hits home a lot more, certainly when you're a parent as well. So, listen, there's people out there who have. Got all some kind of conditions and diseases and cancers and stuff like that, and I wish I could help every single person, but I think I always put the children priority because they've not lived, and a child's childhood should be just about the worst they should go through is a grazed knee, and that's it, sulking about not getting some sweets after school. That's what their real problem should be, not having the childhood taken away, being in hospital. So yeah, it was just somewhere else that we try to help somewhere, but good bit of money raised, and I'd like to thank everybody from the Crown Anchor pub up in Rodley. The landlord Alan, fantastic putting it all together. Jason Spence as well, and all those who were there. And I'm sure we'll be back when the the gatherings are allowed bigger, and we'll be happy to do another one hopefully at some point next year.
You mentioned Headingley. Obviously, before lockdown, I remember we had like the big kind of bit of media day. Eddie Hearn came down.
Yeah.
We were at Headingley. All the press were there. Tons of press actually. Looked like big one at Headingley. Never fought there. Different place for Leeds. Against Kanju. That kind of got all put on the back burner. Everyone keeps asking fight news, and I guess it's hard sometimes if you don't know yourself. But where are we with that?
Yeah, so it's probably what everyone's maybe been waiting to hear, and I've had it many times, messages on social media. Some haters saying, "Oh, good move, signing with a Matchroom, whatever." Listen, nobody could have predicted this. What had happened? Like you say, prior to lockdown, we had the ball like rolling, and the fight was more or less over the line with the fight with Kanju, Edinley. Over the lockdown period, I've kind of thought what could have been. Obviously, you don't want to cry too much over spilled milk, but it would have been a fantastic occasion. Obviously, having boxed at Ellen Road before, it would have been nice to tick the box off of Headingley, but it wasn't meant to be. But I've kept myself focused, kept myself training, and in my head originally, I wanted to wait for the fans to come back, get the crowds back, because these fights are not just small fights, and I'm not saying other fighters only have small fights, but these are history fights, these are legacy fights. The unification fights don't come round that often, certainly in the UK, and the big occasions, and I've got a lot of fans who've been coming since day one and have hardly missed a fight, and they're part of the night, they're part of the makeup, they're part of the furniture. And I know there'll be a lot of people out there who say, "You can't fight, Josh, I have to be there, because if you fight and I'm not there, then something might go wrong, because I've been to every one and blah blah." But I think it's getting to the stage now where it'll be up to a year since I last fought. Sofian's coach would have round and a half in there, and these are my prime years now, and I need to be active. So I do understand that things are going on behind closed doors in terms of negotiations, and there is a potential. Hello. Hello, chicken. But I was just saying that it's getting to the stage now where got to be active, and even though fans probably can't be there, I'm sure they'll still be able to watch on the TV. Obviously, we'll miss having that atmosphere, but I've got to be out. I have to be active, and we're looking to be out before the end of the year. So I can't say much more other than that at this moment in time. But for those asking why you boxed in Eddie Hearn's back garden yet, these fights are a little bit more difficult to make, because you're talking different organisations from around the world. So it means that people have got to come in from different parts of the world. Obviously, the other fighters, whether it be a Gary Russell or a Duke Khan, they've got to come in from different parts of the world. But listen, I'm as eager as everyone else to get out there and announce some fight news. So keep your eyes peeled, and we should have some news very, very shortly. And I'm sure that when we do hear something, that you guys will hear it first on the YouTube channel. So make sure you click on the link, subscribe, and that was seamless, that wasn't it?
Why are you going to start doing like up here to watch?
Yeah, we'll be here, but just make sure you subscribe to the channel, and there'll be a lot more exclusives on there, and hopefully, like I say, we should have some fight news very soon. Josh, the